We're gonna have some quick bans come out here. Lee Sin and Vladimir. Lee Sin, I pretty much always agree with the Lee Sin ban, and if there's so many players that have played Lee Sin. He's such a mobile jungler. His weakness is he can't really carry late game, but his effect on with a skilled player on like the beginning and mid game is it's borderline better than Shaco. He has a lot of mobility. I mean, Shaco has the stealth and mobility to come out and mess up your game, but he just carries a little bit better. He's tanky, can initiate, and has a lot of amazing mobility on the map. Kennen's another solid character. You put him top, bottom, middle. Just ban him out because he's a safe pick. He's a safe pick for any team. Any team can build their strategy around the simplest thing, which is an AoE team, where a lot of teams you don't need a lot of coordination to run it. You just run an AoE team. Kennen's an easy pick. You can throw him anywhere, be safe from counter picks and stuff like that. So he's a good ban. Skarner, not sure about that. I mean, he's kind of fallen off for me lately. He's pretty slow. Shyvana wasn't banned in this. So if you don't ban Skarner and they pick Skarner, you just pick Shyvana and then you just out jungle him, and he can't do anything about it because he's a really, really slow jungler. Now he has great effectiveness otherwise, but for the most part, I mean, Shyvana pretty much can counter pick him in the jungle if it's available, which she's not banned. Kog'Maw, great ban, simply because he's, in my opinion, one of the best ADs in the game. I'm not sure if he's the best anymore, but I mean, there's so many great ADs, and it comes down to skill and mechanics. But Kog'Maw, to me, you get to the end game, he's gonna tear the entire team apart. He doesn't have an escape mechanism, but he has great peel in himself with his AoE slow. Shaco pick right there. There's a great peel with his AoE slow, and his poke is just absolutely legendary, amazing. It's all 200 damage if you wait every 6 seconds or whatever. It only costs 40 mana, which is nothing in mana for 200 damage nuke. That's crazy, and it gives you vision, whatever. And Shen ban, if you're not gonna play Shen, you ban him. He's too good right now, even after his nerfs. And ooh, a Shyvana. So we're gonna see the Shyvana versus Shaco play. Shaco's gonna be absolutely all about the ganks, and Shyvana's gonna basically be all about the farm. And it's an interesting matchup simply because Shyvana is basically going to be looking on the map where they're going to be using their ward placement, the early ward placement, to spot out Shaco. But Shyvana's also going to be looking for where Shaco goes, because she's going to counter jungle whatever side of the jungle if he's going to gank bottom. She's going to run up top and try to steal as much farm up there as she can and counter jungle him and suffocate him that way. Because if Shaco, Shaco doesn't get off his ganks and doesn't start to snowball and give them that great early game advantage like he's been known to do, he basically can only split push. Otherwise, he's pretty much worthless. And other picks, we're gonna have Janna, obviously the best support in the game, hands down. There's pretty much no argument there. Ahri, obviously a very good pick, although against a Ryze, the 25 minutes is picked up here. I don't know. I mean, I really like Ryze. The thing about Ryze is there's only a few characters that really give him trouble. Spammy long-range characters that can push a lane. Xerath, Cassiopeia, Morgana can push a lane and give him a little bit of trouble. But the thing about Ahri is she can sort of push a lane, but really she's gonna get close with Ryze. As long as Ryze doesn't get charmed, he can actually just blow her up. And the thing about Ryze is once you hit level 6, you basically walk up to someone, hit absolute power, you get 150 mana, so basically all your spells that you're now gonna throw are pretty much free, effectively, and then you blow the person up in lane, and especially with a blue buff or something, you don't care about the mana, you got all that free mana, they're at below half health or near dead, and they have to either go back or try to sit and sustain the lane while you can long range overload them. So, and late game, he's way better than Ahri. He's the best. He's one of the best AP casters late game. I mean, his sustained DPS is off the charts. It looks like we got a Graves pick, Udyr pick. Love those picks. Taric, not a huge fan of Taric, but he works well with Graves. Armor Shatter, pretty good. I would kind of favor. I mean, I'm okay with my problem with Taric is basically when you hit him mid and late game, he basically becomes a stun bot. That's pretty much all he is, which is pretty frustrating to me as a player. Vayne, Janna obviously the best support, but I think Vayne can play with Janna perfectly fine. I prefer Nunu if you're gonna run Vayne, but Vayne's also very, very good because she has that true damage, can punch through a lot of the enemy team. The enemy team's kind of squishy if you really think about it. I mean, Udyr's gonna be the tankiest character of them all. Ryze is going to become naturally tanky. Singed is going to try to become unkillable. He's going to be top lane against Udyr. He might be able to pull that off. Singed, he's kind of making a little bit of a comeback lately. But he has a lot of trouble with like certain champions that can be played top lane. Haven't seen a lot of Rumble lately, but Rumble is a great response actually to a Singe, because you basically just face roll your keyboard and just keep running at him and harassing him, and you win the lane. Interesting summoner spells. It looks like Singe is going to be running Ignite Ghost. So he's going to have even more speed, but he's also going to have an Ignite. I don't know. I kind of would like a teleport on Singed. I kind of like the teleport play better. Udyr is going to have teleports. He's going to be a lot more mobile on the map, going to be a lot more present for jungle objectives. Although Singed players, a lot of times, they just want to farm, sit up top, and they don't really care about the dragon, which has been shown lately that you can actually play a game where you're giving up dragons and just staying in farm and laning, and you actually come out pretty well in that. Let me turn off Steam. I don't need Steam. Get out of your Steam. Went on played some Dota 2 the other day, and I can say that by yourself, Dota 2 is a really crappy game. There's no fun to be had in that game. Because I was a huge Dota player before I got into League of Legends, and going back to Dota 2, I don't like the UI, I don't like the system, I don't necessarily like watching the games as much. I don't know. I have a hard time with the Dota 2, but it's okay. It's not for me. I don't know what I said about you, Steve. I have no idea. I don't know if there's anything to be said. Yeah, both teams are the key is going to be, how well does Shaco do harassing the enemy team? Because against against a team that's not warding out specifically for Shaco, they're gonna have a terrible time with it. And if Shaco gets on a roll, I mean, he can tear your team apart. He can't do his old shenanigans where he used to be able to take two buffs at once, which really was like his strength. Like if you let that happen, like that was just like you might as well just like bend over like that was just like just take the wind out of your sails. I know 25 minutes, who was the purple team, won the previous matchup against Jittlers at Godicon. This is a rematch. So this is actually a big match because 25 minutes actually ended up going on and taking first place in the tournament. And Jittlers was this amazing team. I mean, they won their side of the bracket pretty much uncontested, looked very, very solid, and then heartbreakingly lost, two games and were out of the tournament. So they won all their games, then lost two games in a row and were out of it. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't fun for them. But they have that taste in their mouth. They're going to come back here, give 25 minutes a run for their money. We'll see what's going down. I mean, they have great heroes, great characters. I mean, Shyvana, depending on that farm, depending on how she does, it could be a huge factor going later into this game. And excited to see. Ooh, a triumphant rescue. It looks like someone's won a tournament. Oh yeah, I know what tournament they won. Well, besides the fact that I think they've won some local tournaments, they did win Godicon, so there's that triumphant Rise skin showing it off. I love Rise. I would like to pick myself up that skin. Unfortunately, I haven't been playing for Raise Your Weapon teams when we've been winning tournaments, so unfortunate for me. But it's all good. I have the Dark Crystal Rise, which I'll rock that. I'll rock the Dark Crystal Rise. Skin is badass. Wasn't sold on at first. But I'm digging it now. And just see if any of these teams decide to invade. Double stunned and a charm early is a pretty strong invade actually for Jittlers. If they decide to do it, I mean, Howling Gale obviously good for team fights, but they could invade and try to mess up Shaco's boxes if they want. It is a possibility. Have to see what they decide to do. Loading up here. Again, this is the International Space Pimps online tournament. Starting out here, this is the first round, first set of games. We should have about 4 sets or 5 sets of games for you guys tonight, all in total. I'll bring up the bracket at some points later and stuff like that, show you guys, keep you updated on what's going on. International Space Pimps is actually playing right now against another team. Looks like we're almost loaded in here. Again, Jittlers is the blue team, 25 minutes is the purple team. These teams have faced each other in tournaments before. Will they play it safe? That is the question. Looks like we're going to start off here. Boots for everybody on 25 minutes. Boots 3 pots. That's, you know, what everybody said about the bird. And of course, Janna and the supports having the slower buys. Again, you actually can get programs that let you set up your recommended item build, and you can set up your recommended item build so that you have Philo Stone first, and you know, wards and pots in your item build. You can buy your items really, really quickly. And Invade actually looks like it might be going up for 25 minutes. Looks like they're going to ward out here. They're red. That's very, very smart. They do not want to get invaded on. Meanwhile, Jittlers, yeah, they're going to go top Tribe Rush, I believe. It looks like they're running straight for it. No one, no wards coming top for 25 minutes. 25 minutes does ping it. So I know that probably will be going down. Again, they are waiting and preparing for this. 4 bot, 1 in the upper brush. Looks like Chris. I mean, it is key. If you can disrupt these boxes, it slows down Shocko tremendously. And he's hidden his box in here to be safe. And here comes the invade. 2 boxes in there. They're going to disrupt it as best as they can. They should know that the boxes are there. I believe, you know, if they don't have a ward here. If they had a ward here, they can see when they will see when it gets engaged on, because the boxes will go off. But they can just also camp this. It looks like they might try to steal Raise. This is good times right here. 25 minutes being very, very patient. Minions have spawned. Shocko might actually try to do red. They could actually do red if they're smart about it. Yes. So yeah, they might wait up here, and they're not going to expect this. And Ari's going to face check this. This could be first blood right here. Fear goes down, flipped over. First blood goes to Janna. Not necessarily your best target. Chris needs to get out of this. He's a little bit low. Meanwhile, Jittlers is backing out as soon as they can. LC Rambo under a little bit of pressure here. Ignite wears off. Shade down here. One last flip, and great timed flash by Udyr. Possibly would have died. The Pimp, great flash over the wall. Shyvana actually moved in here a little bit dangerous. Going back in to help her friend. Ignite goes down. Will they be able to put on enough damage? I think that will be enough to pick her up. Torgan with the last hit right there. And Vayne, oh, so close to death right there. 24 hit points left. And great start for Team 25 minutes if they want to have a roaring start. That is the way to do it. Chris is going to need some help here. He's going to use his first box. Typically, you want to try to get behind the golem if you can, but it's pretty hard when he just turns and faces you, so he's going to straight up do it. Smites a little bit early, but he will get a blue buff, which will help him jungle. And, you know, that kind of, you know, great play by 25 minutes. 25 minutes played that perfectly. They saw the movement, and they said, hey, you know what, they're going to come back to red. We'll just sit in these bushes with a Jack-in-the-Box, and then we'll have 3 Jack-in-the-Boxes at our disposal, and easily be able to kill it. And you even saw that Singe flipped Ahri into the other 2 Jack-in-the-Boxes if they hadn't gone off yet. So it's like great positioning and playing by them overall. Rise getting the better of this exchange here, although he is out of mana, which is unfortunate. Did have time to go back after those early exchanges, so he might have to back first. Although, obviously, a 1k gold lead this early is pretty good for 25 minutes. Looks like blue has the upper hand on pressure right here. It's going to come down to where Shocko decides to gank early. Picked up a cloth armor. Rushing that wriggles, more than likely. Ping's going down 4 red. Ahri knows this is going down. She is going to try to harass this possibly, although she has no support, so it's just up to Ahri to try to take this out. Smite should be back up for Shocko. Yes, it is. Just see how this goes down. He smites it early again. I mean, that is deceive over the wall. He should have help from Rise. Should be easy to be able to skip. He's actually going to have a fear to start this off. Possibly great recognizing by Summer right here, because, you know, if he would have face checked that, he would have ran into a box, saw it, backed off wisely. Rise just missing that CS there. Unfortunate. Happens. I mean, Rise, he throws wet noodles. It's not lightning. He's like, here's this guy, he hits so hard, he has these overload powers, great mage, does all this damage, and this melee attacks is like his auto attacks is like, that's like the balancing factor of Rise for me as I've played him recently. And here comes that great gank. He checked for the orange, missed, and they saw it come in, but not going to have enough damage, but it will push him out of lane, more than likely. Smart will have to back. Looks like he's going to chug some pots and try to stay in lane. but Shaco can actually just camp this. So typically, actually, a pro tip for people to play mid with a Shaco in the game: when you play with your screen. Like play with your screen shooting up towards this brush. Most Shacos will come from their red side right after they get red onto mid, and you can actually see the orange puff through Fog of War. So even though you can't see into those bushes, you actually have the ability to see the orange puff when he just sees out. And once you see that, you just easily back off, and it'll let you escape a lot of ganks. Unless, of course, Ryze engages on you properly and shackles you into place and you can't escape. But that's just a little pro tip there if you want to deal with Shaco players. And if you're a Shaco player and you're playing against me, know that you should come from the bottom side instead of the top side, because I'm looking for it. But yeah, they're doing Graves 18 CS, Vayne 28 CS. So Vayne actually mechanically lasting a lot better. Although Graves has a lot of CS to pick up here in this current wave. If he picks up a lot of this, it will go well. Deceive really early, condemns into the wall. Howling Gale will pop up. Lots of burst damage going down. Fear not going off. And time pretty late there on the Fear, unfortunately. Great attempt to set it up, but didn't quite follow through. Ryze 21 CS, Ahri 22. So Ahri, even though she's moved around a lot, been harassed down early, still hanging with Ryze. Ryze does, unless you really master that auto attack, that kind of is the secret to Ryze. Because people, Ryze is a pretty easy character to play. You put everything on smart cats, you can face roll a lot of stuff. You buy tanky items, you're tanky. You don't have to deal with a lot of stuff that other AP characters have to deal with. And there you go, Shyvana recognizing that she saw Shaco bottom, like I said earlier, and she's going into the jungle and stealing this as she can. Shaco has to rely on those ganks, hasn't been able to pick up anything like there's a C for no reason there. It's pretty pro. Happens. A little overzealous here. Dusty Virus doing a good job top, 32 CS to Singe's 37. So he's harassing enough staying in it. He's not going to be pushed out by Singe. Singe really, though, now that he's hit 6, he's going to be able to sustain lane forever by popping his ult. So now is when he's going to become in trouble. Shaco realizing that his jungle has been stolen. That dirty Shyvana. Cody doing a good job here. Lu's going to pick up himself up some extra CS here, since Ryze did go back. Smart play there. And they actually do have a ward here, so they do know that Ahri is here. She's going to back off smartly, though. Don't want to be too bold there. Both mids have hit level 6, top has hit level 6, bottom working on it. Right now, support's at level 4, backed up a little bit. AD spending more time in there. Ping's going down at blue. Shyvana was up there, but they did know that she is in the area going down. Ryze not going to push it. I'm actually interested that Shyvana, when she ran up there, didn't actually have a ward there to place, because typically that is the reason. If you go up to blue, you want to actually place a ward up there when you run through, so you can gauge the damage properly. Tarek throwing down a warded dragon. Now he's rotating up. We might have a roam. No, we're not going to see a roam. I was thinking maybe we might see a roam. Good. It's a good Tarek, Alistar. They're good supports for roaming. Right now, this is what we're talking about right here with Ryze. Might be able to pick up a kill. Ahri popping down all her ults. Ignite not going to be able to pick him up. That little bit of spell vamp helping him out. He's going to be able to survive this. Those minions trying to pick up a kill onto him. Shyvana running in. Burnout engaged, but not able to pick up a kill. But that's what I'm talking about. He can harass so well, and especially with blue. And he just pops that, desperate power, and you're in all sorts of trouble. So effective. Now Shaco has engaged on Shyvana, trying to poke her out here. Shyvana trying to get some CS, although the problem right now is Shyvana's actually pushing this wave against the tower, which is not necessarily where you want the wave to be. Gives Ahri time to come back, but if the lane doesn't push, you're in a little bit of trouble. It'll work out here. Ryze is not there to push, so I take it back. Shyvana doing some good farming. Typically, you want your wave against your turret if you can. Alright, getting a slight reprieve here. Uter at 51 CS leading Jittlers right now in CS, and Vayne and Singe both at 60s in the over 60 milestone mark. Vayne coming back with double door and blade. She has her level 2 boots, and she has a vampiric scepter. That's a lot of lifesteal. Graves, meanwhile, has boots and 4 pots. That is not what you want to see when your ADs are squaring off, because Vayne is going to dominate Graves with that setup, especially with a Janna in there to give her even more damage. I mean, have mercy. Good job by Ari right there, picking up some CS, both those CS, not giving them up. Cody feeling pretty confident he's going to be able to take this red. I don't... That's going to be really, really close. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do it. Good attempt. Ari coming down, wants to sneak into this brush, which she can. She will sneak in. Ever so slightly, but the jig is up. They back off right away. Saw it with that ward right there. So great ward placement by 25 minutes. Playing a great game in Rise, you know, doing a great response. Sees Ari is gone, pushes the lane hard against the turret. This is effectively, you know, people say that deny is not in League of Legends. This is denying in League of Legends. It's, you know, it's kind of a roundabout way. It's not quite the same as like directly denying. Oh, failed deceive over the wall by Shaco. Could have been a lot of trouble for Ari right there. But she could hit the panic button if she wanted to. Uh-oh, Tarek trying to ward up here, caught out a little bit. There's a 4-person sandwich. And the Pimps is not going to be able to escape out of this. No reason popping any summoners or anything crazy like that. And that is the cue for 25 minutes to start a dragon. As they should. Rise doing a little bit of zoning here. They do have this Jack in the Box, which will mess up Ari's attempt to try to zone in on this. She really should just back off. They should just stay in their lanes, farm them up if they can. Because there's... I mean, and that's the thing. It's a lot of teams do. A lot of teams make this mistake. They think, you know, maybe, you know, we could stop this dragon. Maybe we can stop this dragon when it's unfair, you know, and kind of a little bit of an unfair advantage for us. But it's not worth it, because chances are, you know, if they have more people and they're doing better, Shyvana's going to ult up here and easily get flipped away. There's no chance GVP was going to get done here, so she just makes a mean face. Really just needs to go back to farming. She's going to take over this lane for Udyr while he does back. But like I was saying, don't worry about the dragon. If you don't know you can contest it or take it, stay in lane, farm, push your lanes. Let them take the dragon, because it's you basically, by going over here and sitting over here and like being all spooky and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you didn't do anything. You didn't stop the dragon. You took some damage and you didn't farm. So, I mean, what were you doing? You were basically just losing gold. Where if you farm your lane and push into their tower, you actually mitigate some of that gold loss by losing a dragon. So, recognizing when you can contest a dragon, when you can't, is very, very crucial. Some teams like CLG, you know, they just give up dragons. They don't even care. Some team comps that TSM's been running recently, if you've seen any of their scrims, they just give up the dragon because they know their team comp's inferior for a dragon fight, and so they don't even bother with it. And the fact is, if you stay in lane, you actually farm up, you can actually even out the dragon gold that they do gain. There's lots of times if you see really good mechanical teams that don't play AoE comps will have other teams go steal dragon because they have an AoE comp. The mechanical team will basically not contest it. They'll give up the dragon, and then when all is said and done, they're still ahead in gold because they're better at farming in lane than the other team. There's more gold to be had that way. So, something to think about in these games. Right now, 25 minutes, up by 4 kills, and Udyr wants to try to attack Singe, but it's not really going to work out. Looks like this is a Phoenix Udyr. I think, you know, I guess, you know, I don't necessarily know the meta of Udyr versus Singe because I haven't seen it in quite a while, but I would think that Tiger would be a little bit better if you wanted to try to harass him out of lane. Phoenix isn't going to do it, just going to let you farm, but maybe he's decided he just wants to farm up, try to become godlike that way. And Shyvana ended a lot of the trouble that lasted for Vayne, almost picking up the kill. Not going to be able to do it, but oh, wow. The ult, and she is in on the hunt. Ari using her ult to try to get out of this. Udyr and Tark behind, but they're a little bit set out. Ari might come back in on this. She's going to dash in, and Graves comes in. Team heal going down, trying to protect Vayne. Vayne trying to tumble away, but stunned from Udyr. They're going to pick up the kill. Shaco clone still in the mix, trying to put some damage onto Ari. Oh, no, that's the real Shaco. I thought that was actually the clone. So I guess I'm completely wrong. I guess I'm not used to that skin and that color. I seriously thought that was a clone, so I was like, oh. Like, she needs to run away from this. She's in trouble. This is worthless. And then he kept running. So that's actually pretty cute. I dig it. So a lot of trading went on there. They were able to pick up Vayne, salvage some kills out of that. Not completely a loss there. Purple ward fading in that tri-brush right there. So he's going to go up here, farm some more Singe right now. 107 CS versus Udir's 91. So Udir pretty much hanging with him. Vayne 98 CS to 77 CS by Graves. That is not hanging with her. She has 3 assists plus a kill. Graves only has an assist. No deaths, but only has an assist. So he's definitely behind in gold. Like we were talking about those items earlier, is far ahead. Graves now, after this buy, is kind of just making up Vayne's money there. And how she spent her items, and Vayne just completely superior in item build right now on the AD bot side. Meanwhile, Ryze is sitting there with his tier Catalyst. Looks like he has an amplifying tome, so he's probably going to go for a revolver next for a little bit of extra spell vamp. Me personally, I think his next move should be to rush the Banshee's Veil, because against AP mids, if you rush, once you hit your Banshee's Veil, they cannot do any damage to you. They basically deal no damage. Charm barely misses there, coming out from Ahri, and Shaco eating a lot of damage. But he's not too worried about it. Still has quite a bit of health. Ahri rotating in, Udyr coming in, and the C back in. This could be some good bait. Charm lands actually onto Ryze. Shyvana ult comes in, and they will tear down Ryze. Ahri ult on the prowl, and Singe just rotated down. Apparently, they call that out. So great setup by Jittlers actually there, picking up a kill onto Ryze. That's what they need to do. They need to keep trying to take him down. Charm was a little off, I guess, trying to guess that maybe Shaco would come in there. Again, if you are tuning in, this is the International Space Pimps online tournament. The blue team, Team Jittlers, the purple team, 25 minutes. These teams have played each other at Gattaca before. 25 minutes, ended up winning the entire tournament, actually knocked Jittlers down to the losers bracket, in which they lost another game to the second place team, and were not able to continue on the tournament, even after they just basically won 4 or 5 games straight, I think it was, to win their side of the bracket, and their winners bracket went out a little bit, not the way you want it to be if you go through and dominate your side of the bracket so well. But, 25 minutes, a very, very good team. And they came out with an early lead, but right now, Jittlers is kind of creeping. They're hanging tough. They're hanging in the game, picking their moments, doing some great rotations, not letting it snowball out of control, which is what 25 minutes wants to do. They want to snowball this game, but they do. But to be honest, they actually have a little bit better of a late game. And, a dive here, bottom onto Taric, face checking a bush probably. And Tribush and drag it, and that's perfect. It's every time it seems like 25 minutes has been able to do this. They pick off Taric right before they started dragging. Taric's death is the herald. He heralds the death of the dragon, or Drake as the Europeans call it. Whatever you want to call it, it's cool. It's cool with me. I'm not gonna hate. But if you are tuning in, I am RaiseYourWeaponMedia. Doing a little solo casting here. Highwind couldn't be with me. Out gallivanting around, doing some curling, doing his April spiel. Having fun doing that. And actually, great oracles by Shyvana here. This is what they need. Shaco, meanwhile, has the oracles as well. Both teams need oracles at this point in the game to gain map control, gain that ward vision. Ryze is going to freeze this lane out here. Doesn't want his turret messing up his CS. Okay, and Udyr coming in here might get Vayne. Great ult by Janna. That ult was so money. That Howling Gale keeping the turtle bear off their backs. But that ult was absolutely perfect. Right before that stun would have landed and meant surefire death. Janna comes in there with the monsoon and just saves Vayne's bacon. Chris rotating down here has that oracle. Might try to clear out some wards. 25 minutes doesn't have a lot of wards on the map anymore. They're very ward light. And they're actually passing wards. And they're killing. So if you have an oracles, tip is default, I believe it's shift right click is attack move. Attack move through bushes and attack move around the map, because you will actually kill the wards as you come upon them. Similarly, if a low health hero runs into a brush, attack move into the brush. That means the instant you enter the brush, if they appear, you attack them. You don't have to click on them. It's very easy to get juked if you do not attack move. Attack move, especially for Udyr players, that's standard. You should know to do that. So Attack move, very important. Learn it, do it, use it. Rad's gonna roll over here, pick up another blue. He does have his revolver. It looks like he has another sapphire crystal, so he's probably going to be starting onto his glacial shroud, which is the last of the 3 items before he starts building tier 2, or tier 3, I guess it would be. Builds all these tier 2 items, and then starts rotating them into tier 3 as he gets more gold and moves along on his build. It's kind of like almost like Rise's like super Triforce, if you will. Great ward clearing by Cody right now. And the top map pretty much dominated strictly by Jittler wards. No wards here for 25 minutes. And Shyvana's going to run in here and not catch Rise at all. Oh, great charm followed up right there. Flash popped by Rise. Eats that ignite, so no ignite left there for the next team fight. He's going to escape out of this just fine. Popping his all right there. Using that spell map and bam, and there's all that health back. Combined with that revolver, so good. Ari's probably going to pick up a blue herself now. Gotta keep that arm race up. Can't lose out on that. Ooh, throws his overload early, doesn't pick up the kill. That's unfortunate. Happens. I like to nitpick. It's okay, because I play Rise so much myself. I miss all those CS. I've had so many CS shenanigans that, like, really, I'm not joking when I'm saying the key to Rise is learning his auto attack animation, because he has the stupidest auto attack animation. It's so weak. It's like you're playing Dota 2 is what his animation is compared to everybody else in League of Legends. Like, you play Ahri, like that auto attack and that damage is so crisp. You play LeBlanc especially, so crisp, so awesome. Can easily last hit. You play Rise and it's just like freaking wet noodles. I have to harp on that every time I play Rise. Good little jack-in-the-box there, warding out Ahri. Rad's going to put some more damage onto this turret. Shyvana looping around. Ahri's going to come in, needs to dodge that charm. That is the key here. He's going to juke down, which is pretty good. Shyvana going to be all over him now. He's just backing off. He's pretty much resigned himself to death here. He's not going to be saved. There's no way he's going to be able to get help in time, so instead he just actually tries to focus on Shyvana, but that does not work out at all. So basically just gives up, bad positioning there, trying to put too much damage on that turret to be a little bit safer. And, you know, part of that is because Shyvana's been so good at counter-warding with her oracles right now. And all the ward control so far has been in the favor of Jittlers. And Vayne right now, 174 CS to Graves, 138. So that gap is widening. There's 2 kills up there. She has a Bloodthirster. Graves has nothing yet as far as a big item. And so advantage is fully hers. She's actually going to pick up a Zeal right now, pick up some double swords. You know what I'm talking about. So she can start dunking fools. And Zeal is a perfect weapon for Vayne. Synergizes with her completely, get that attack speed, get crit, as you can see right there, get more movement speed. I mean, that's what that character is built all about. I mean, there's a time, people, they go Bloodthirster, but, people for a long time, too, also go rush Phantom Dancer, because you get all that attack speed and critical damage, which just synergizes so well with her. Whew! Great to see dodging that charm. That was close. That would have been a dead Shaco, and losing that Oracle is unacceptable at this point. And Janet now has an Oracle too, so they have 2 Oracles now. Taric caught out again, and is Dragon up? Look, Taric has died for a 3rd time, and Dragon is now up again. It is Dragon time, but oh, a fight this time. Screw Dragon, we're going Howard Gale, misses. R's going to be blown up early. Graves trying to back out of this, but getting focused down by Vayne. Vayne's going to pick up another kill, and now it's just Udyr and Shyvana running. Shyvana probably going to be picked out more so than Udyr, but Udyr actually just turns around to try to give up his body. They actually are able to pick him up, and Singe is completely diving now. Shyvana popping her ult, but she gets flipped back into the rest of the team, and that is an early ace from 25 minutes, putting on the heat, and they should be able to get a second turret if they decide to turn around and focus this. But it looks like they're going to just go for Dragon instead. Vayne actually could probably pick up this turret by herself, so smart move by them. Hello Kitty's going to pick up this turret, rotate around. They're going to pick up Dragon as well. So this time, not only does the Targ following herald the Dragon, it also heralds an ace and a turret. And hopefully that's not what it heralds from now on, because you cannot sustain too many of those in a game of League of Legends. And now, as you can see, most of 25 minutes is going back now. Most of them have about 1,200 gold, which is, perfect. It's about a giant belt in there. You can just buy straight up or finish off some other items. And Phantom Dancer's now been finished for... So right after you finish the Zeal, Phantom Dancer is finished now. We were just talking about it. And Vayne, Vayne's pretty godlike right now. Rise just finished his Banshee's Veil, has his Glacial Shroud. Gold has been sent. This next team fight's going to be very, very hard for Team Jittlers. Shaco's has 2k gold. What's he going to buy? Looks like he's going to finish off a Phage, pick up a Recurve Bow, get some more attack speed in there. Janna's still with 1,300. And really, AD carry-wise, they've fallen behind, which they need to keep in pace because the late game for 25 minutes is just purely better. Singe getting focused, they're not going to be able to kill him. Singe is pretty much unkilled. Jiffy P's unkillable to those that group of heroes right there. There's no way. You'd have to have a Fed Graves in there or something to try to stop it and an Ignite, and they don't have it, so... And Udyr in a little bit of trouble because they caught out here. Desperate Power is popped. They're going to need another spell combo, another stop, one more Shackle. When that comes off of cooldown, we will see a dead Turtle Bear. And there's the flash in there. Does not able to pick it up. Needs to throw out some auto attacks from Rise. They're going to throw that last auto attack. And Shyvana's moved in, and in comes the save. And now the Charm, followed Rise trying to get some health back. Trying to throw out some damage here, but he's not going to be able to throw out enough damage. Trying to kite. Singe going to turn around. And a little overconfidence here by 25 minutes. They're pressing this bottom turret here. But like I said, 25 minutes team just better late game. The later this game goes, Rise better, Singe better until the other team's entirely maxed out. Singe is going to be unkillable at this stage in the game. His current build level advantage over the enemy team, over Jittlers. And Vayne's amazing hyper carry. And Janna, way better support for late game. So everything is in their favor. They only have an 8k lead now. Or about a 8k, 9k lead. Hovered around the 9k mark, actually. So, Jittler's fighting back a little bit, but they are down by a lot of gold, which will affect them really heavily in team fights unless they are able to pick off some more heroes. And now we're going to see a dive in here. Sid's going to be able to tank this turret for quite a while. Rotating aggro in there, but they've actually rotated the aggro back onto Vayne, so Vayne's actually going to have to get back out. Going to pick up another kill onto Graves, and going to back out as they switch over aggro to Singe. Singe doing a great job. Look how tanky he is. Singed with 3,400 hit points already, and they're easily going to be able to press this. Arya might try to come out of this, but it won't be oh, wow! She's able to pick up Janna, pick her off, flash over the wall, and she will be able to escape out of this. Rise actually not falling down. So great pick off by Ari. Little gorilla move action right there. And Vayne, she'd just be wise to come up here and just finish off this this next turret, or try to put some more damage on this turret. She was in there a little bit early. I think they actually would have got the turret instead of her focusing on these golems. They can press this again if they choose. It looks like they might, and they will pick up another turret if they decide to. And they will. This turret will fall, so another turret. 2 turrets down. Shyvana would be wise to back off out of this. She's not going to be able to take these 2 champions. As long as Vayne can kite, she will tear any opponent apart. She can basically murder anyone at this point with her ability set, with that true damage, with that attack speed crit. So good. And Ari, think about it. She looks like she's going to press this turret. Ari does have her ult, so she can beat feet, get out of dodge. And Shaco doing a little split push action, and probably going to continue that for 25 minutes as they come up here. And Vayne getting a little bit scary here. Gotta be careful, girl. Great goop right there. Slowing down the enemy's advance, making sure that Vayne can get away. Hello Kitty taking the smart route. Rise actually now picking up a Frozen Heart, which will mitigate a lot of damage from Graves even further now, and from Shyvana and Udyr. Slowing down that auto attack speed. So good. He also gives him some more cooldown. Has a good build at this point, and double Phantom Dancer for Vayne. Oh, Billy. That is rough. Yeah, I mean, Vayne is a true terror at this point. And let's just see if they just try to engage on her and try to pick her off, because that is their best hope. Their best hope is to pick off Vayne, because if Vayne is able to stay alive for more than about 10 seconds in a fight, then it's going to be all over. And oh, she's going to get caught out a little bit here. Pops her ult to try to stay invisible, and she's focused on the Udyr. That's not where you want to focus. Backing far out of this, might turn around, gets exhausted, is going to pick up Shyvana, still trying to run out of this. Udyr dives too deep, and now they are back on the hunt, and Vayne still able to keep that DPS up. Great kiting, and oh no, the Pimp Imp. The Pimp Imp with a disconnect. That's not what you want to see at this point in the game. That is unfortunate. Ahri actually being caught out here, not able to escape the infinite running Ahri, and they will pick up Tarkus. Well, you know, honorably, probably wouldn't have killed Tarek since he did disconnect. Do I think it matters in the grand scheme of the way this game is going? No. I think this game is pretty much over. I would like to think that Jittlers can come back, and anything is possible. Anything is possible. But I'm going to say right now... but frankly, I think 25 Minutes just playing the better game and has a better team comp. You know, like I said earlier, their late game team comp is great. They farmed better bottom. They won bottom lane. They pretty much won middle lane. They effectively won top lane because the fact that Singed came out way tankier than Udyr did. And the jungle, I'd say Shyvana did a better job in the jungle. Shaco wasn't super effective, but they've got so many. They were always able to pick off Taric and able to pick up these jungles. Little trash talk you see there that reminds them. You know, there were some DC issues at Gatakon, which maybe that's why Jittlers, you know, they wanted, you know, a run back here so they could try to, you know, make up for the fact that they had some DCs. But I think that 25 Minutes probably, you know, had a healthy lead. I mean, I don't think that Jittlers doesn't have a. I mean, they weren't. When you're in a game, you just don't necessarily know how far behind you are. But if you tab real quick, look at the CS, you look at Vayne's items, and you look at the team comps, you wanted to be even at this point. You want to be even at this point in the game 5 minutes ago. You wanted to be. Oh, great juking here by Hello Kitty, but she needed to keep running. She needed to keep running. She's not going to be able to escape yet. She's going to be blown up. Unfortunate. That's a lot of gold for Graves, which he will need. They do need him to get fed. If they can pick off people like that, you know what? Jittlers can win this game. If 25 Minutes gets cocky and they get picked off, but if they meet in the team fight, 25 Minutes shouldn't lose. If they lose, you know, they're really doing something silly. So they're going to be able to pick up a Baron. Or utilize that Baron here in this team fight. You can see here, 4v5 looking pretty good. Shaco Clone's going to go down. Riot still trying to trade, not tanky enough. And without Vayne, they don't quite have enough damage in here. Still going, but they can't do anything about Singed. Singed is the key here. He can still stay in this fight forever. They can't deal with him. This poison's going to tear him down. And he just needs to stay in there and keep after their team. They can't do anything about this. They need to stun, charm him, just get away and give up now because they won't be able to pick up any kills. That is for sure. No Ignite for him. Ari's going to be able to flash over this wall with a little bit of ticks of poison on her. Still going to be able to escape. But yeah, Singed, I mean, that's another key. But I mean, you get Vayne, you throw Vayne in that fight. It's not even close. And oh wow, you're gonna be caught sleeping out there. Gotta watch out for that toss. I mean, he does have it, and he has great positioning. You know, I have to hand it to Jiffy P. He's had great positioning with those tosses. Even from the early fight where he took the time to move and toss Ahri into the Jack-in-the-Boxes in the base of red. I mean, his tosses have been on point. When Shyvana was running away, and he stayed in front of her, you know, to get out the poison, but he was just far away that when she ulted to try to fly past him, he just flipped her back into the poison and back into death again. So he's had some great positioning and great play by Singed, so props to him this game. Playing a great game here. Shyvana did a great job, I feel, has done a great job this game, trying to counter jungle and stay farmed. 179 CFs to Shaco's 134, so definitely ahead of him, and he has been farming lanes too, so in the jungle, she had that advantage before too. It's everybody just trying to escape. the Singed, and Singed, you know, he's pretty much unkillable with the Channon nearby. I don't foresee that happening anyway. I mean, 25 minutes, if they're smart, if they're done doing split push cuteness, they just need to form up 5 mid, just push down the middle of the turret. Jittlers can't do anything about it, pretty much. Jittler's best chances for 25 minutes to keep derping here. And Tark might be caught out here. Tark heralds the aces now, so you gotta be careful. Just need to keep rotating in there. I don't know why you cloned that early. You want to clone with the minion wave. You want to clone with the minion wave to have more bodies for the turret, to push the turret. Looks like they're just going to clear out this top turret as well, not push on this mid turret. And they're going to keep running split push with Singed and Rise top. It's kind of interesting. Singed can take it down a turret very quickly. And, uh-oh, Vayne has that Guardian Angel. She's basically one item away from being full up. And Guardian Angel just means that if they focus her, she's still going to be relative in the fight. They're going to have to focus her yet again. So he's going to put a little bit of damage on this turret. Shouldn't be too worried about him actually killing it. But really, they should just fire up and, oh, they're going to pick out Udyr here. Slow's going down. Singed coming in. Front bottom going to flip up Udyr. Still, the tankiest men are going to eat some turret damage here as they dive this. But see, they can do this with... Ah, wow. So he's finally going to fall. Vayne taking... Oh, wow. What a chunk right there. Hello Kitty's red buff actually able to pick up the kill at the end of that. And why are they pressing out here? That's very, very dangerous. Don't like that very much. And now they will finally press onto the turret. Vayne should be able to clear this out. No problem. Looks like she's going to go for the kill instead. And they're just going for kills at this point. Really, I mean... So, what they just did there, where Singed ran in, took 5 people in a turret, you could have just done that way earlier and just focused down the turret, killed the turret, and just got this all over with a lot easier than trying to split out and do all the fancy kill stuff. So, they're going to get another inhib here. Almost up by 20k is team 25 minutes, so that's pretty much game. You can, I mean, I can say anything can happen, but beyond a massive power outage for 25 minutes, they pretty much have this game. Looks like they're gonna clear out this Nexus. And when Jittler's putting on a good game early, did some good things. I think that 25 minutes just had a little bit better of a team comp, and they won that bottom lane too, which hyper carry Vayne, very, very effective later in the team fights. And objectives, they kept losing a member every time a dragon would come up and go down, and really that was very beneficial to 25 minutes. Able to convert those into dragons, and in one case turn into an ace. I think that the ace team fight combined with that was a major factor with that. So